I'm not going to start it off like that, but
Is this the episode you think where we're no longer clean on air?
I would say that this is probably one of the episodes that maybe eliminates us from being partnered with NYCFC because we're coming for throats.
Yeah, not really, but at the same time, man, somebody at some point is gonna have to answer.
They're gonna have their feelings hurt somewhere.
Yeah, well, somebody has to answer for what has been going on. I don't know, dude. I feel like it's Ronny watch right now. It's like, oh yeah,
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
we're in here.
We've been the last couple have been going.
Oh man, this is probably one of those episodes where I'm not in a good mood. I'll say it. I'm just not. I think we started out like the heart that we were playing with in the beginning. It looked good.
Yep.
But like I was telling you, we were texting back and forth. It's like this team has no creativity without Morales on the field.
Yep.
If Maxi's not out there, we're not there's nobody that can pull strings at all.
Also, so what is even going on with Maxi? Because he wasn't on the injury list, but he also wasn't available to come into the game.
He has to be injured or like something has to be wrong. I don't think that he would be trying to. I don't think he's like trying to leave or anything. I think it's super, super weird. And like I was saying, I was kind of talking about this last podcast. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I foreshadowed. But whenever Keaton is starting, we're playing defensive.
Yeah.
And that showed pretty quick. It looked like we're playing a 5 in the back, but without wing backs. We were having like Alex Ring and Keaton play back.
Yep.
And it just was super weird.
Well, this was just the weirdest like personnel, like having them move in ways that I've never seen before. Like Chanot was playing right wing at times. Like he was fully joining the attack like 4 or 5 times throughout the game. That's not a recipe for success.
It's just ugly, dude.
It never has been.
Just ugly. I think for sure I can say that is the top 3. Like the attackers that we're playing are the attackers I want playing.
Yep.
Every single game. But dude, it looked like trash. Like we looked awful. I was telling you like this is the worst NYCFC has ever looked ever. Mm-hmm. And we've had much worse players.
We have way worse.
And Matriza, I'm sorry, dude. Like I was on the fence before. I was like, maybe I shouldn't slag him off on air.
Yeah.
Dude, leave. And now I'm over it. I'm seriously over it. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
There's no point
in
production
at all.
There's no point in me sitting here and be like, oh well, maybe he can. No, he can't. He can do nothing other than draw a double team, try to dribble out, and lose possession. Mm-hmm. He's never picked his head up and been like, oh, well, maybe I'll play a pass. Like, when he gets in with Heber, they can play some nice 1-2s, but it goes nowhere. Whatever shot happens goes to the moon. Who cares? I'm over it.
Yeah, he's one of the few lowlights within the starting player, or not the starters even, just the people that touch the field today. Yeah, I think everyone is probably pretty over Matrita at this point.
There's just no point.
Like, let's find a way to cash out on him, like one way or another.
I just don't care if we get any money.
Yeah.
I just don't. If I were to wake up tomorrow and it was like Ronnie's gone, Matrita also terminated his contract, I would be such a happier person.
I feel like we're in better hands, maybe. I don't know. It's just, I think we're on.
Give it to Belushi.
I don't know if it was before we were recording or after when we said that we're probably on Ronny watch right now, but I mean, I think one thing that I had tweeted after the game was it's probably about time that COVID isn't the problem anymore, right? Like that situation can't be the constant excuse through 6 games with extended breaks between them. That the COVID situation is what is causing this absolutely lack of performance. Just it can't be that anymore.
As much as I blame Ronny for how terrible the team looks, like the shape of it, the idea behind the team, everything, his tactics as a whole, mm-hmm. There comes a point where you have to look at the players and say, you guys are pros. Like, you guys have been doing this a while.
Yep.
You have the ability to say, all right, like, I know Ronny might be mad at me, but I also know that I'll stay here longer than Ronny will.
Yeah, or I'll have
and
a
so
better
let
future.
me take this game over. And look, if we win and he's mad at me, I'd rather win and him be mad at me than to lose and have this embarrassing team, because this team is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Keaton, stop looking backwards if you have an attacking piece of your mind somewhere. Like, stop looking back. It's so annoying. This team was terrible, dude.
That was
so bad.
That was one of the things that I actually noticed out of Sands today that I hadn't seen too much in the past, although I know it was there, was that he was looking back too. Like, it was a whole team-wide, like, mind space. Everybody was looking back. Like, it was constantly a thing where someone may have even been open upfield and they're just playing it back to be safe, I guess.
I feel so bad for Tati.
Yeah.
For him to have made the runs that he was making, pressing the way he was, constantly playing with heart like he always does, and then he's the first person to get taken off.
Well, to be fair, too, I mean, Tati, in a perfect world, could have had 2 assists in half an hour.
Right.
You know, not to say...
Bear on that first one should have let it go.
Yeah, I mean, well, he probably should have scored both of those, realistically,
easily.
But he's been out of form. But, I don't know.
Keaton would have had a goal there if Bear lets it through.
That's true, yeah.
But, let me slow my brakes. He would have had a very solid chance on goal that most times would be
finished, by most average players.
Correct.
Yeah.
But gamble with that.
And then here's the thing about Keaton, too, is that the club came out today and said that there was just no truth to that Keaton stuff. So...
Well,
scratch half of our episode that we recorded.
Oh, well.
A couple days ago, but
too bad.
I mean,
maybe we can put the Keaton news over there and we'll accept him being mediocre for now. He's mediocre. That's what I was going to ask. And just put the Matrica news in now.
Yeah, we've been trying to push the Matrica news for far too long for him to still be here.
Matarrita still deserves a spot in the squad? Because honestly, his replacement that came on looked so much better than him. Looked like he had a grasp of playing that position so much better. Yeah. Like, if Ronny is staying, I don't think Matarrita can play the way that Ronny wants him to.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Like, I love Matarrita, like, with all of my heart, but it just doesn't. If Ronny's staying, Matarrita can't play in that squad.
Would you rather have Matarrita being able to be a starter or Ronny as our coach?
Oh, 100% keep Matarrita, yeah. But I don't know. It just
feels like
it just feels like we don't know. Like, it doesn't look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's across the board. It's everybody. I don't know.
I just don't even know where to go from here.
Well, one thing that I meant to touch on. So when you were talking about how at some point it becomes the players need to look into themselves and into the squad and be like, hey, we are professionals. You know, clearly Ronny has no idea what he's doing. Let's, do something different. And if it upsets him but it gets us results, then who cares about Ronny? But really so I thought about that slightly after the game for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, why are the players playing so poorly? It can't be all Ronny's fault. But then I'm also thinking last season, I mean, our personnel from last season and this season, there is not a big difference.
There's not a big difference. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
You're looking at maybe 1 to 2 players. So the players should know that they're able to do it. But I think that also really shows that at like the point of what the biggest problem is mostly Ronny.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be. And it wouldn't be like this if Dame was still here. It just wouldn't. No. It would not.
We may have lost today, even if we still had Dame, but it's like we know if we go 1-0 down under him, we have a chance. You said it the second we went down, which I thought was a terrible decision. Yeah. But after thinking that it was a terrible decision, I also had the thought of, okay, but we need to stop putting ourselves in the situation where a bad decision affects the entire game and we lose. Like, if you don't, like, it's very simple. If you score more than the other team, you win. If you put yourself in good positions, you're probably going to win.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of what I meant. Because, like, the second that Sean fumbled that, and we got ruled as it being a goal, I was like, well, it's Ronny out. And then you were like, that wouldn't have stopped Sean from fumbling it. And then what I was trying to get at was exactly what you just mentioned, was like, yeah, Ronny wouldn't have made Sean catch that, but now we're in a position where Ronny has to fight us back, losing by 1, or we're already in a position where if a player is going to make a mistake, which that's going to happen over time from game to game, a player's going to make a mistake that will cost us a goal, but we could have been up by 2 already, and it could have been 2-1 when that goal fumbled in. Well, it didn't even fumble in. It did not go in. I don't even think that was.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth mentioning that was an awful call.
Unless, well, the only way that it's not an awful call is because I didn't see what the original call was. Like, if the ref had called it a goal or if he had called it not a goal. Because if they called it a goal immediately and then reviewed it and then they said we didn't have enough to overturn it,
that makes
that makes total sense. But if it was ruled not a goal and then switched to a goal, that's controversial.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what happened because, I mean, I don't know with all this stuff going on, like, it almost seems like the announcers in all the games, like...
They didn't know. No, they didn't even have a team sheet.
Yeah, they didn't have team sheets.
Like, there was a point where...
It doesn't seem like they have alternative angles. Like, I think announcers are literally only
not
seeing
even
the
in the
feed.
Stadium.
Oh, really?
They're not
so
even
they're
in
just,
the stadium.
I think, honestly, they're only seeing the feed that we're seeing. Because...
Probably.
Because typically, if something like that happened, they would have announced the call on the field immediately.
Yeah. No, like Ian Joy and whoever he was with, they were in some other stadium, like just watching what we were watching.
Yeah, I did not know.
And they weren't given team sheets. Like, there was a point where the substitute for Mott, who I couldn't tell you what his name is.
Ronison.
There you go. Couldn't tell you. But the announcer was like, the number 20 for NYCFC.
Yeah.
Like, he had no clue either.
Yeah. Well, and then they falsely, in the first half, they falsely reported that Maxi could have came in. And then, like, 20 minutes into the second half, they're like, oh, no, he can't. We just didn't have any idea.
Yeah.
So.
It's just, dude.
And I don't know. I wouldn't even say that Maxi would have saved us.
Absolutely would have.
You think he would have?
I don't think necessarily that. I'm not saying that we win that game with Maxi.
Not win, but get a goal.
We have more creativity. The number one killer for me is watching a team not have any type of outlet, not have the mind to, if you're on the right wing and you have nowhere to go, then your striker is dropping to create a 1-2 or something. Like, not having a mind to do any of that and instead just blasting the ball up with a long ball, hoping for something, like desperate. That's where I look at the players and I go, okay, yes, Ronny's terrible. Like, Ronny has shown nothing other than the Toronto game and maybe the first 15 minutes of this game that he knows how to organize a team. But at the same time, if you aren't fighting for space and fighting for every piece of that field, it's going to end up like tonight where we're just launching long balls. Long ball FC, trying to take long shots. It just doesn't work.
It seems... Yeah, it just seems like maybe. Do you think it's a lack of direction, or it's like a lack or a too much bad direction? Like, it really could go either way.
I think it's bad direction, and this dude, it seems like maybe he's only yelling at people for not following the system and not yelling at people for playing absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
like, he's not yelling at Matriza maybe for trying to take 3 people on dribbling while there's obviously people open.
Right.
Instead, he's saying, well, instead of going inside, I want you to go wide and whip the ball in. You know what I mean? It's just backwards thinking.
I don't know.
This is worse than the doom and gloom episode because it's a rival. And like we said however many episodes ago, you can't lose to the New Jersey Red Bulls and have a job after. At least right now, after the start that you've had, it can't happen.
Yeah. Although,
and if it does, that means we just, as a club, as a whole, we just don't have the balls to do and make a decision like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just COVID is buying him time still somehow. In my opinion, it doesn't feel like he's gonna be fired. Like, I think everybody wants him to, like, in terms of fans, but I don't feel it, like, in the air that we're gonna wake up and see him as not.
Did it feel like Dome last year was gonna get fired?
Well, he didn't. It was wasn't it like a mutual thing?
Yeah,
sort
but
of,
they
in a way
they said that. Like,
yeah,
they're not gonna just straight up say like, oh, we fired him.
Right.
But it was that, and it was probably because at the beginning of the season, he was given a goal of, we're trying to make it this far in the playoffs, make it there, period.
Right.
And no matter what he did in the season that year, it didn't really matter at the end of the day because they just said, look, this was your goal. You didn't meet the goal.
Well, if that's how they felt towards
that's my thought today. I was like,
then it's like since then they've just thrown their backbone away. Like
exactly.
The backbone's gone. If they were that hard on Dame, a man who won the Eastern Conference, like had the best record, and they were able to just dump it like that, then how are we at the point that we are with him?
Reyna would not have. If Reyna was here, Ronny would have been gone years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, Ronny would have probably never gotten hired.
That's true.
But, you get rid of somebody very, very good and fill him with somebody without a spine.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I think
the club is worse off. What are the standings even? They still don't have it updated.
Before the game, we were second to last place, ahead of Inter by like 1 point. I think we were tied with them, so we're probably going to be last, if not still second to last. So either way.
I mean, Columbus, if we play even play 25% better against Columbus, they're still going to run us for everything we have.
Well, they have some real players on their team. They're not like the New Jersey Red Bulls. Like, they have Royer, who is just an old Englishman.
With, I would say, the worst haircut I've ever seen in my life.
You know what's crazy?
What happened to the half of his head?
Wait. Before you go in deeper on his haircut, do you know what I said to Kristen during the game?
What, that he looks like me?
You guys sort of look similar in the hair department. Before you go too deep in on this man.
I'm just gonna.
So,
his haircut looks pretty nice.
Anyways. But yeah, I mean, Columbus has real people. They have Zella Rayan, they have Zardes,
Dude, I wonder
Mensah. Like, this is going to be a problem for us going into this Columbus game. Like, I'm not sure.
I don't think
Don't they have Adi? They have Adi that used to play for Portland. Like, this is just gonna be bad for us.
I don't see it looking up for men like us.
No, I feel like
Dude, let me check Twitter. Maybe Ronnie's been fired.
Fingers crossed. I feel like in 7 days we're gonna be sitting here, recording a similar episode, about. how we feel about the game.
But with Columbus, I wouldn't be surprised. With Red Bulls, I figured we should at least tie. Mm-hmm. That team is bad. That team that we played is not good. No. We made them look good.
Yep. It's just
with
crazy.
Long Ball FC, nothing really. I mean, I don't even know.
And I don't know how much more we even have to say about what we just had to watch, but I think one thing that could be controversial, and that's only because he is our captain. I don't know, dude. Ring might be past it.
No, I think Ring plays well, and I think he's really, mentally, our mentality on the field is better when Ring is on the field, but it comes down to Ronny. We wouldn't be questioning. This.
Ring. Yeah.
We wouldn't be questioning Ring if it wasn't for the terrible tactics.
Well, it's sort of like the Mott's point, where it's like, if Ronnie's gonna stay, and we're gonna be forced into Ronnie's system, in what ways can it be fixed?
Dude, you know what a real big problem is? When you look at the team play, and we are on the attack. Yeah. Put it in quotes because it was terrible. But you have Medina, Hebert, and Tati fighting for their lives. Mm-hmm. And then everybody is like at half line just watching.
Yeah.
and you're like, how are they supposed to create 1v7, 3v7?
Yeah.
Like, I can get mad at Matriza because he tries to dribble out, but everyone else is trying to pass out of it, and obviously it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, nobody's running into open space to like try to accept a pass and make something.
There was
make
a
play.
few times where it happened where Tennerholm had to be like, okay, I'm taking this into my hands, and he'll play and make a run, but nobody's passing and making a run.
That's almost
everyone's passing and then waiting for somebody else to make space.
Yeah, well, that's like constantly Tennerholm's game. I feel like that's probably his thought process the entire game is like, oh, there's no attackers up there. Let me run up into the corner and just try to kick a ball in.
But yeah, so that's why Chanot ends up out there, because the way that they had this team set up was to have a back three, and then the midfielders are dropping back between the spaces. So then Chanot and Callens are basically right and left backs.
Yep.
And then you have Sands in the middle, and then you have Ring and Parks in them. It's like, dude, it's just so brain dead.
But if we're properly playing like that too, and we have Chanot, Sands, and Collins in back, that would mean that we have 11 minus 4. I can't even do the quick math. That means we have 7 people up the field attempting to score a goal.
But that didn't happen.
And we don't
that
even.
didn't happen because Tennerholm and Matarrita are stopping at the half line.
Yep.
And then it's just a free for all against everybody else.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense at all. It didn't make sense. It looked awful.
There's just I don't think there's any way for us to win games this way. We're not going to do that.
No. And it's not like, I guarantee every team that we play studied that Toronto game and they know how to beat it already. Mm-hmm. So there's no going back to that. Let's forget the Toronto game. It's never going to happen again.
Well, this is just part of the reason why Ronny has to go.
Ronny should be on already. It should be announced.
Well, he should have been gone. So you've checked and there's no announcement.
No fun. No fun for men like us. I'm sure they're deciding. I'm sure there's talks.
Do you think they're even talking about it?
Dude, if there's not at least a conversation.
But my thing is,
there's not a group chat somewhere where someone goes, who is
they all make a group chat and they leave Ronny out of this one.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we thinking about this guy? Because I feel like the talks can't even be happening, because the talk should have been happening 2 or 3 games ago, and now after what we've just watched, the last 2 to 3 games, we should be at the point of the decision being made. That's the whole thing. I don't know.
Congrats on 100 appearances to Mott's.
Yep.
That's really dope.
There's one positive from the game.
And Sean Johnson is amazing unless he gets a shot kicked out of him by a professional player.
Well, he did have one. He had really good saves.
Like 2 really good saves, but at the same time,
well, they don't matter if you
give up fumble a ball. If you literally throw a ball into the back of your net.
Yeah. Although,
whatever.
Dude, I'll say this, and I don't even want to talk about it, and we already touched on it earlier, but that ball, it wasn't in the goal.
Well, that ref all game was terrible, I'd say. It was absolutely awful.
Well,
but you need to stop putting yourself in that situation.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mind the ref too much at the beginning. I mean, I don't think there was a single card given out that game. There could have been like
that foul on Tati, dude. I wanted to go to the arena. And,
there could have been like 3 to 4 cards on each side, and I was like, you know what? I kind of respect that you're letting them play. There hasn't been anything like too egregious except that Tati. That
one on Tati was at least a yellow.
Yeah, and that was right after Tati had fouled somebody and didn't get a card that, of course, the other team thought should have.
Yeah.
So it almost was like directly trying to pay back. But until that moment, I wasn't too upset with the officiating. But that was it was crazy. Really, it was.
Well, I think maybe that ref knew that in the past when you try to over penalize teams, especially in this derby, then it just gets out of hand because people get mad that I got a card and that guy didn't, and then so I'm gonna tell my friend to go get their friend.
I just wish we knew what the call on the field was with that goal.
Yeah, I'm sure we can look back.
That's just gonna be so important to.
Yeah, I mean that's the entire conversation.
Yeah.
If it was called a goal and there wasn't enough to overturn it, like I said, then I accept that. But if it was called not a goal, because I thought he pointed to the spot to give the goal kick and then reviewed it, which is why I think it's controversial, because in that case he called no goal.
Yeah. And
so we have goal kick. But I don't think it went over the line. I really don't.
No.
But at the same time,
the Red Bulls tweeted. They deleted this tweet, but they tweeted a picture of the like still shot, and then they were like zoom in, and they posted a zoom in of the ball like clearly not in the goal. And then after like 5 minutes of everyone just tearing them apart, they just deleted it.
Yeah. Well, cowards. Also from New Jersey, so who cares?
Yeah. Bro, we got trolled a little bit. Did you see that?
No.
Some Red Bull fan tweeted at us.
Today?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
After we said that. Which is weird because we're probably on his side. We said that Ronny should be fired. We were like COVID is no longer an excuse for Ronny, and he just tweeted like, you lost to our coach. Like, okay.
No, I don't see this. Maybe you deleted it.
Nah, or he might have, yeah. But I looked at his account briefly. It was just spamming memes of Red Bull. So that kid has enough problems to worry about.
Dude, their whole team is just an advertisement for an energy drink. Who cares what they say?
It's true.
Who cares? Anyways, I don't think there's really much more to say.
Nah.
I'm not getting any more or any less angry.
Yep.
So,
well, hopefully we have a little more to talk about next episode aside from just...
If Ronny gets fired, we're going live on Twitter.
Periscoping or something.
Is that even a thing anymore?
I don't know, dude.
Did they disable that?
Twitter bought them and then like deleted it or something.
Thrown in a vault somewhere. We'll go on Instagram or something. I don't know.
Yep. So, Columbus game coming up. We were supposed to talk about the Hartford game tonight too, but they canceled it last night because of COVID worries or whatever when they were down in, I think it might be at Luton again. Who was the first people that had it? Or was it?
Philly.
It was Philly, okay.
Yeah, we were supposed to play Philly.
Yeah, but they canceled that because of some type of COVID concerns.
Those Philly men need to stop getting COVID.
Yeah,
it's the second time.
Not able to say much about them. Next Friday, so this is going to come out tomorrow. We're recording right after the Red Bulls game right now. So this is going to come out tomorrow, which is Friday. But then next Friday, which would be the Friday after the Columbus game, we're going to talk about the Columbus game. I think another game might pass before then. Maybe not.
Well, we have Hartford and Luton on Sunday.
Yep. So we'll hit that for sure.
Then the 28th, we're going to the Pitt game. That's Friday the 28th. We're going to be at the Pitt game.
Is that when we would be posting another episode then?
Yeah, and you'll see an episode that day, and then we're recording or trying to record some type of content for that. But
we're not really sure. You guys might not see it.
Like we might
this whole game.
It's possible that we turn the camera on and can't stop laughing. So like, we'll see what comes of that.
It might be like a little ride along, go to the Pitt game with this thing, and if it's not like the lamest thing that we've ever recorded, then you guys will see it. And if it is the lamest thing that we've ever recorded, then you will not see it.
Maybe you'll just see like a highlight reel of it or something.
We'll just have like the tactical cam type view of a goal going or something like that.
Who knows what we'll do.
Yep.
But my money is on we turn a camera on and can't stop giggling.
Yeah, it's just...
So it's really awkward.
Yep.
But anyways, thinking about that kind of lifted my mood a little bit because that would be hilarious. Maybe we'll just put bloopers. Who knows? Yeah. Anyways, I want some comfort food from Cumby, so let's wrap this up. Post 90 Pod on all socials.
All over the place.
And maybe you'll see a clip like Arsenal Fan TV of us screaming on the internet.
Yeah.
Like and favorite it. Or like and interact with it, boys.
See you guys soon.
Bye.